Welcome. Today we're going to talk about everything you could possibly need to know about how to change strings on your guitar. Welcome back to Random Music Stuff. Alright, so the first thing you're going to have to know is what kind of strings you need, because depending on if you're getting an electric guitar, an acoustic guitar, they all have different strings, and even beyond that, there's different style strings, different what's called gauge strings that give you different tones, and there's different brands that are different qualities, different prices, so there's a whole bunch of different strings that you can get, and so to figure out which ones would be best for you, I'm going to talk to my friend Jeff. Jeff's pretty cool, so let's do that. Jeff!
What's happening?
So I'm starting a YouTube channel, and you are gonna be
YouTube?
well, not yet. You will be.
Oh.
Video editing. So I'm making a video talking about how to restring a guitar, and I was like, hey, string expert Jeff here should tell the YouTube world about strings, because there's a lot of different kinds of strings.
There is a lot of different kinds of strings. Let me finish my guitar lesson, and then I will come out and do a video with you for sure. Okay?
So this is Jeff, what's his name from?
This is Jeff Kylloe with MDS Music.
What he said. So I need strings for a guitar.
Yes.
What do I need?
Well, you need to determine what gauges you prefer.
Okay, what's a gauge?
Gauge would be the gauge between your E string and your E string, meaning that you have E, A, D, G, B, E, as we all know what guitars you have.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be, for instance, 9 through 46, or 10 through 48, or a hybrid, which could be 10 through 52, or an 8.
At this point, it's worth noting that in the interest of getting as much information as I possibly could on the subject, I did also go to the player's bench in Crystal Lake, and here's a little bit of the conversation I had with Jason.
So I am here with Jason, what's your last name?
Oh, Erlenborn.
Jason Erlenborn. All right, from the player's bench. Now, when talking about strings, the word gauge comes up. What does that mean when we're talking about strings?
Sure. So basically how thick the strings are. Mm-hmm. So the thicker the strings, the harder they are on your hands to play, but you do get kind of a bigger tone from them. Where the lighter is, won't have as big of a tone as the heavier strings, but be easier on your fingers.
So now this affects the tonality of the guitar, correct?
Not only the tonality of the guitar, but the action of the guitar, how tight the strings are. So a lighter set of strings, easier to bend or push down, less tension. Or like a medium gauge set of strings would definitely be harder to bend, more tension on the neck.
So like a higher gauge string gives like a warmer sound to it?
I would say more of like a bigger tone in general, a little bit more projection when you play.
We will grab a 9-gauge set of strings and we will go through it.
Okay.
So this is a classic 9-gauge set of strings from Ernie Ball. 9, 11, 16, 26, 36, and 46.
Okay.
So it would be your low E string. So from low, E, A, D, G, B, E.
Okay.
So when purchasing acoustic strings, a few options you want to consider. Probably the first one to go to is, do you prefer a coated string or kind of what we just call a regular string? Coated string is going to have about triple the lifespan, probably about double the price of what the regular string would cost.
Okay.
Some people do feel that there's a difference in the feel of the coated string, so they don't like it, so they go just with the regular string and are just changing them more often than where others don't seem to make a difference, or might even like the feel of it even better.
Okay, so it's kind of like you get what you pay for kind of thing?
So yeah, it'll definitely have a better lifespan. The tone won't die on you as fast as like a regular string.
We have things like extra light, which would be 10 through 47.
Okay.
And we have things like regular light, which would be 12 gauge. There would be reasons to use both. Let's just say that your acoustic has really, really high action and has really heavy strings on it. Well, if you put a lighter gauge set of strings on it, it'll literally kind of straighten your neck out a little bit and lower your action a little bit. That's great for acoustic guitars that have truss rod issues where they just won't, you just can't get the neck straight with the truss rod. Some cheaper acoustics are like that.
Okay.
So a lighter gauge set of strings will help. Or on the flip side of that, some truss rods you can't even move them. Neck has a real bad overbow, so putting a heavier gauge set of strings on that acoustic might straighten that neck out a little bit and make it play a little better.
So it sounds like you know what you're talking about.
I do.
The next decision for acoustic guitar specifically, you have your two options of phosphor bronze strings or 80-20 strings. 80-20 is going to give you a bit of a brighter tone, probably more popular with people who are playing in groups and want their instrument to be able to project a little bit more amongst the other instruments that they're competing with, where the phosphor bronze strings will give you a warmer sound, and typically then players who are like solo singers will kind of like that warm tone as well.
You know, different strings are made out of different things, you know, nickel, steel, you know, it really just depends on what the guitar player is using. I highly recommend using different, you know, brands just to find something that you may like better.
Okay, so a little experimentation.
Yeah, experimentation is always good, especially in music.
Because, I mean, there are probably bad string brands that exist, but usually it's personal preference and whatever gets you what you like.
Yes.
Now, obviously, if you want to look for different things when you're going for an electric, because, you know, it's just a whole different machine. So if I'm looking for an electric guitar set of strings, which actually I could use anyway, what would you recommend?
Again, with the electrics, you again have the option of the coated versus non-coated, so same rules apply to that for electric. For electric, basically, you're only going to mainly see your nickel wound strings, so you don't have the choice of like 80-20 versus phosphor bronze like you do with acoustic. However, you do have the option on electrics to go with flat wound strings. That would be different from your typical nickel wound strings, in that they give kind of a deader classical kind of sound to it, as if you're playing acoustic instruments on an electric instrument, basically.
All right, so I'm gonna get one of them, please.
Which one?
Let's say 12s. 12 sounds pretty fun.
They're less expensive anyway.
Ah, less expensive. That's always a win.
Yes.
All right, well, this helped. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Sweet. All right.
Will this be cash or charge?
Charge, please.
Charge. $6.41.
Okay, I'm gonna pay for this now.
Alright, so I hope now you guys have a better understanding of the different kinds of strings and you know better what it is exactly that you need. Be sure to stay tuned for the next video where I actually show you how to restring the guitar. That should be up soon if it's not up already. But yeah, be sure to check that out. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Check out some of the other videos I've done. And yeah, I'll see you guys around.